Hello, everybody. Welcome to our third episode of Moon Knight. We're a little days late than everyone else, but whatever. Here we are. Why not talk about it, watch together, have some good times with some friends. A mysterious man with mask beside me. What do you think? Oh, what is the reveal?
I thought it was time to reveal who was the guy behind the mask.
Oh.
Been 10 years.
She's from Egypt.
Now we know.
Alright. Makes sense. The scene has a bit of a glow around it, which is either an effect because they have had a little bit of smoke before. I don't know. It's one of those things that you don't really see a lot in digital photography so much. Oh, that's nice.
Is the scarab? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's
yeah.
still in the air like that.
Oh.
Oh, as a yeah, like
Compost.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so how do you decide that it's time to put it away? Okay. What do they know? They're random hip kids. Well, maybe not him, but yeah, that was a tiny one. My cabbages. Stop. If it isn't Conchu or him, then it must be a third person then. Someone that doesn't give a shit. Even worse than Mark. So if like Steven's the good guy, Mark's the neutral guy, there's the bad guy kind of inside them as well. Like I kind of see him as three different specters of good and bad inside him, which can be very interesting. Oh, God, shadows.
Don't mention
Okay,
it.
so they are going for it then. I mean, audience with the gods, or at least the avatars.
Yeah, because the god thing is still a bit like...
I know that. Hopefully, this is the scene we get some explanation because it's good to do it in. It's perfect. Marky's back.
X-Men Apocalypse vibes. Opening scene.
You must be his avatar.
What's up?
Just like these are the guys you picked. Like some of them, right? In the bit like, okay, so some kind of businessman. I mean, I guess it's whoever they picked. They picked whoever, right?
So, no, I'm not doing it. I swear.
I mean, slightly disappointing that they'll just be in human form, unless it's just a setup to see something else later.
So is that what's going to be our little mini arc for like the next, let's say 2 episodes maybe, while they're digging up the dig site? Him tracking down the guy who knows where the dig site is.
Yeah, possibly.
I wonder.
Yeah.
How'd you get married then? Huh? Who marries people just because they're hot? Oh, never mind. Sorry. Stupid question. And that also begs the question of Steven. It really makes it feel more and more like Steven is the real one. And Mark and such were developed afterwards.
You tired?
Of my shit. Bring Madripoor back into it. To be fair, it was giving Madripoor vibes of all the neon.
Yeah, but
Obviously, it's supposed to.
that's
be
still
here.
like nightlife in a city.
Yeah. I look, man. I don't know what kind of cool cities these people live in, but I've never noticed Stockholm being super
Middle
neon.
Eastern cities, David.
I guess fucking neon up the wazoo.
that's
I
the
respect
thing, you know,
it.
I mean-
Looks cool.
Looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think this might be the actor who passed away. Actually,
Oh.
there was a French actor who was in this and passed away after he filmed the scenes.
Oh my god. She's like, yeah, I kind of want to date Steven. Like, fuck this.
Maybe she likes Steven a bit more.
Let's go. Oh my god, I've been impaled. Oh my god. Jeez, before you impale him, buy a guy a drink first. Oh my god, Father. Moon Knight, he's getting stabbed. It's not just fashionable, it's stabbable. Fuck yeah. Bang.
Apparently, he's playing a character called the Midnight Man. So,
Huh.
it's Midnight Man.
Oh, thanks.
I remember every night.
That's nice. Every moon night? Okay, I don't know. Okay.
She just has to go along with him.
Yeah, she's here thinking like, what the fuck is going on? Earth is really getting confused in the past few years. Fucking giant, like, god creature comes over, takes some British lady, the sky's
But maybe
going all
this is only
funky.
seen in Egypt.
I think it should be seen all over the world. It's moving all the stars.
I guess. I mean, cut to Hawkeye in the meantime. Like, what is going on?
Otherwise, like making a show, like let's say you're watching Miss Marvel, and then at a point in Miss Marvel, the sky starts.
Yeah,
to
this happens.
Okay.
That'd be good.
I
Yeah,
would be, but I wonder
do
if you
that.
confuse audiences too much that haven't seen this. Be like,
It's the MCU.
I know, but I don't disagree with you. I think that'd be kind of something cool to happen.
Your torment forced me. I owe my victory to you.
Again, the way the story is set up, I would have to say right now that if that it feels like Steven's supposed to be the real one that owns the body, maybe, but then, Mark shows up, and then maybe so does other personality that I'm counting on that may or may not show up. We'll see. I don't know. I'm sure Oscar Isaac can do another accent. And again, 3 faces. It feels like it'd be weird if not following through with it at this point.
Yeah. How many were there in the comics?
I think all I'll say is I think it depends on the writer. If the guy feels like having 5, he'll have 5. If the guy, but it feels like the standard is 3, is from what I've been able to pick
Gaspar
up.
Ulliel, special guest star. That's the guy.
It is the guy.
The French actor. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Midnight Man.
may he rest in peace.
You remember that movie Gods of Egypt with Gerard Butler? The boring thing about that movie is that they just had the actors with their, plain faces. I want to see them with the actual like animal faces and all that, like their actual real forms that you see, in all the other imagery from Gods of Egypt. So I don't want them to turn into some kind of robotic version of Set or Anubis whenever they fight or something. I get that you want to sell it with the actor's face, but then you have them like when they're in like the human world as in disguise, sure. But when they actually are behind closed doors in this temple, then yeah, go for it. Show me how they are, because the good thing about Eternals is actually seeing those giant Titan creatures.
I guess
really nice
what
to
I'll
see.
say is for this way the story set itself up is that they're not here. That they give shit to Khonshu for even being here because they're not here anymore. That's why they have the avatars, and that's why they don't like Khonshu. For the sake of a
Yeah.
story perspective, I think that's the reasoning. That's what I'll say.
Right.
So from that perspective of where the story is why you don't see them, I would guess. Not only because obviously effects wise, but if I really wanted to be like, well, technically, I guess the way they set up the story.
I kind of want to rewatch the opening scene of X-Men Apocalypse now, actually, after seeing this. Finally, a completely new location. Go more desert, go more temples, go more all of that stuff. Then when they're in the marketplace, easy with the shaky cam. Easy with that, because it was getting a bit sloppy. Easy with that.
Yeah, very
because-
deliberate choices, which is surprising to see in such a big thing to go for this extreme level of shaky cam, because this is just like cameraman, hold the camera and run. Okay.
It stands
Yeah,
out because
yeah.
then you get to the midnight city thing with neon lights, and you get to that location with the 2 temples. There's a lot of colors. It's vivid, and you have the guys with the horses and the spears and all that. That looks good. That's a very good idea, and that's probably the best action scene so far, I'd say, because it's got the most unique ideas. It's also filmed well, where you follow the action and all that. With the other stuff, it's a bit, shaky and a bit sloppy in the sense of like it seems like I could film that. I mean, and that's the interesting thing about this. I feel like a lot of times it becomes the thing where like, oh, it looks like I filmed this. You know what I mean? And I mean that in the sense of like I filmed this with my camera that I have right here. That I just like they just like I'm there on set just filming some shots, But then you get to those moments where they do the whole sky thing.
The sky,
where it
and you
seems
go,
like,
okay, well.
yeah, let's back off. Now it's a movie. You know what I mean?
That's a movie.
The stuff that I'm used to with the MCU.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it feels like I made it, and then it seems like
Oh.
the MCU made it, and then it seems like I made it again. You know what I mean? Sometimes it seems like you just me with a camera on set instead of at giant TV.
If that's what they wanted to go for, I don't know.
I don't know, but
I
that's
don't
so acting continues to be good, and the ideas of what Moon Knight is and his split personality thing, all that is good. Confusing about the marriage, I guess. Like, how did that happen?
It just feels like that. There's a few of these questions for the world I feel weirdly consistent that I can tell aren't going to be answered. You get a feeling. They're not going to explain the gods. They're not going to explain why that relationship developed, because it just feels like there's so much unresolved, unhappy tension there. You wonder, but why do they even care then? You know, that's the problem. Like, why do you even care? Like, you don't see gentleness to at least get that perspective.
Like, how
'Cause
long
if-
have they been married?
Right,
And
and if
how
at
did
least,
that happen?
and you know, there's that one moment of gentleness when they're in the boat saying like, you know, like the equivalent. It wasn't Obed, was it? You know, they hold hands for a second.
That was a nice scene.
But that's the one segment of gentleness, and then from there on, it goes into argumentative / we don't need you, Mark. How about Steven? And it's just like it's one of those things where it's just
I
like,
just started to like Steve.
let's go.
He's
good for
he's
Steven.
the cutesy little
That's
English
right.
boy.
He's, you know, so it feels like between Mark and her, like it feels like there's no, like in a way, like chemistry. Like they feel like they'd rather be anywhere else but of each other.
Yeah.
And that's not it's that's a little jarring from that perspective, because if they don't even care about each other, why should I care about them? It's the truth. That's the way I feel about when you present that to me. It's a mistake that I feel can happen sometimes when you write or make a story. You know, I personally feel like that happened recently in one of our things. But I guess maybe that's why I think of it more now, because in our short film Commander's Mortem, we have two characters that in my opinion, the long road, like you know, you saw them kind of be argumentative.
But you didn't get to see them be loving.
You wanted them to see, and you see a little bit of it. Same thing. You have that one moment of gentleness, but seeing more of it could help feeling like they do care about each other and they don't just fight or argue.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, then you go, well, if it's not fun to watch people fight and argue unless it's for
I
a reason.
know. It's told
if you're
that
just
that's
watching
what happens.
it.
Yeah.
You know, if you see characters that care about each other and they argue, then you care because you're like, no, don't fight. But if you don't even know them and they're fighting, then you're like, well, why do I care that you're fighting? This is just a weird thing of people that I don't know fighting each other. Anyway.
That's a mistake of short films.
Definitely, and obviously the actors are doing fine.
That you didn't get to see
but
the nuance, only one side.
Yeah, that's the problem. Again, not a good episode. It's the halfway point. I will say this much though. I can already tell, out of all the MCU shows that we've already had, this one isn't going to be my favorite, or maybe even top 3. You're world building, but without background building, if that makes sense. Like, you're telling me something exists, without telling me how or why it exists, especially in this world where there's so many different things that exist that you've explained. Release a fucking 5-minute animated, like, Deathly Hallows short, Marvel, and that'll be good enough for me, honestly. You can tell me this is a magical game where you can play Uno chess, shoots and ladders, and 4 in a row, and you explain the rules to me, and that's great, but if you don't, and just present all the pieces in one go, I'm not going to understand how to play this game. It sounds insane, but as long as you explain to me how the pieces work on the board, I can get it. But if you just tell me play it, I don't know. I want to understand the rules. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially when you've been a world, a universe that's been very particular about explaining the rules. That's been the biggest thing with you, sometimes to a fault in my eyes, where sometimes magic should just be magic. That's kind of the reason it exists. For example,
I
I've never been
remember
the chocolate man
these
myself.
operate in the sense that it's like a movie, but it's 6 hours.
Who is going to walk in and give me random exposition about them in the next 3 episodes for a way that feels satisfactory? That's the thing that I don't see happening without it feeling forced. I'm
not gonna judge those aspects yet because there's still more to see.
There is still time.
So,
I'm just afraid that they won't have enough time.
I don't have that kind of already kind of like the I mean we'll see. That's the thing.
We will see.
Look, it's all about the ending sometimes.
It is. It can be like that ending scene that ties the whole movie together. You know, like you're like, I don't get it. And then that very last scene, and then Face to Black, and you go, oh my god.
Yeah,
you know,
that recontextualizes
the whole story, every scene, dialogue. It's true. Thank you very much for watching Moon Knight, a reaction and talk, discussion, review time, Marvel talk. We'll see you later for 4, 5, and 6 because we've begun a journey together. We shall finish it.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's right.
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin doesn't watch. He sucks.
We're singing now. Please, Daddy!
Goodbye!
Hi, Anka.
Am I Moon Knight?
I don't think Dennis is watching, is he?
No, because he hasn't watched any of the Marvel shows because he sucks.
Oh, wow.
He watched.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Our friends suck.
My favorite part of the previous episode was when Moon Knight went, "It's moon time!" and he mooned those guys. It was great.
Yeah, I remember.
So we're cutting that. That's so embarrassing.
Moon Knight!